Man, I seriously just had to run into the house like freaking 3 different times. My lens is super disgustingly dirty. You know it's probably from the steak. I just ran in and out of the house freaking 3 different times. The first time I forgot my camera completely. The second time 3 times? Did I go in? No, 2 times. Felt like 3 times. Forgot the SD card for the camera, so that's kind of an essential. Starting a little late today. It's 11:30. I had a lot of things to do in the house and didn't really feel like putting that in the vlog. I think it's probably boring, and a lot of it yesterday was in it, so I don't really want to make a duplicate episode today. But we're headed off to the gym for a noon session, which is a little bit different and kind of exciting. Today is the official 2nd week of Liftoff series. The first week I feel was pretty successful. My lifts feel pretty solid. Didn't feel super strong this last week because of the doubling up that I was doing, and honestly not going to feel that great right now because I am going to have to double it up if I can. Super stoked. The end of this week is going to be the CrossFit Liftoff competition. Again, going over to Mile Performance with an old buddy of mine, Taylor Foose. We're going to hit the WOD together and the lifts and see what kind of numbers we can put up. So, yeah, Pardon the interruption of the usual fitness videos, but my videoing got boycotted? Vetoed. But my videoing got vetoed. Veto. There's a new group of members starting this month, and Neil wanted to allow them to assimilate without sort of distraction or fear of being on video. So I wasn't able to get any footage today. Plus, the WOD today was very spread out, so I wouldn't have been able to really get a good video anyways of the fitness. I don't think I can lift today. Got a lot of commitments building up for Halloween, and I don't want to miss out on that stuff, and I want to help Sarah get some things done. We're trying to make a pickle costume for Dylan. She is a dill pickle for Halloween. Shocking. What do you know? We got to finish that costume up. We got to carve some pumpkins. So I'll probably do today's lifting session tomorrow instead, and hope that just doesn't kick my ass doing 2 lifting sessions 2 days in a row. Talking in circles right now. I hate when I do that. Kind of bummed that I couldn't get some footage, at least a little bit, but I figured that was going to happen at some point. We'll get some tomorrow for sure. I guess the boot camp class is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon, and noon might be the class that I plan to go to. Ah, God, that's bright. Today, I am skipping my lift. Like I said earlier, it's just getting a little bit too hard to fit everything in still. Hopefully, I'll be able to get something a little bit more consistent starting next week. Damn, that's still not good. So instead, I'm gonna go through techniques, the most common things I see that go wrong in the first pull that'll hopefully help some of you guys out if you're looking for help with your snatch. This technique works best with snatch because you have a little bit more room to play with your legs, but it can apply to just about anybody. If you correct this portion of your snatch, it should help that first pull have a nice straight bar path. Let's go on and get into it. You know what? It's Halloween, so I'm gonna have to put a costume on. Trusty fox. Good thing I'm not squatting. So, again, this technique is best for the snatch, but can still work for the clean and jerk if you have the space. So for me, keeping my arms or hands in with that first knurling mark, I get no space for my legs. And I have such a long torso that I have to keep my chest a little bit lower. So for the snatch, a lot of times what goes wrong, and this is partially from a cue that some may hear incorrectly, and that's push your knees back. While you want to keep pressure back with your knees, you don't want that to cause your butt to lift more. In a snatch with such a wide grip, if you end up with such a chest so far over the bar, you're gonna have to recorrect at that third pull, which isn't gonna really help you out. Two things. First, keep pressure of your knees out. Don't worry about pushing them back so much as push them out. As you gradually add weight onto the snatch, the second thing you should start focusing on is keeping that first pull nice and steady. Don't rip it off the ground, but also don't deadlift it. So nice and steady. Once you pass the knees, then it's time to rip it. As I was saying, the most common thing to happen is for someone to hear push your knees back, and that pushes their butt back too much. Looks something like this. They get into position, they're in a solid position here, but as soon as they push their knees back, they're now way over the bar. And you can't really correct that even with doing this, because this is still way over the bar. Again, what that's going to cause is, as you get into this second pull, you have to overcorrect that positioning. So to fix that, instead of pushing them back, I'm going to push them more out. Pushing them out as much as possible. So you're going to get into that nice position, push them out so they get out of the way. That second thing is, don't rip it. So we don't get into a nice position and then go, because that's going to shock the system and you're going to have to recorrect a whole lot of things. So get into a nice position, sit down, slow, then rip it. I hope that helped. Honestly, it was a little chaotic since I was talking while I did the motion. Let me know if this helped you out. I'd like to do this more often. I did used to coach. I'm not an expert by any means, but I do feel like I have a grasp on most techniques. Let me know what you thought of this one in the comments and what you want to see next week. And maybe it'll be the Techniqu Tuesday of next week. On with Halloween! Time to go trick-or-treating, or have the trick-or-treaters come to our house and hand out a ton of candy and eat a ton of candy and feel really, really, really sloshy tomorrow. The witch and the fox heading over to a friend's house. She's wicked, isn't she? Today's episode. Why don't you give old fella a like? If you liked it enough, subscribe so you can see more. And leave a comment, tell me what you think. And as always, see you tomorrow, crew.